Hi, I'm Shannon Savetta. I've been leading Great Adventure Bible Studies for several years now, and today I'm here with John Harden. He's the brand manager for the Great Adventure. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Shannon.
Great to be here. Listen, the Great Adventure Studies have really enhanced my faith, so I'm hoping today our conversations will help other people bring life-changing Bible studies to their parish. So maybe we could get started by you just explaining a little bit about the Great Adventure.
The Great Adventure is a Catholic Bible study developed by Jeff Cavins that gives you the big picture of the Bible. It makes the complex simple, and so it makes the Bible easy to read and understand for just about anybody. And that helps them to grow in their relationship with Christ.
What I've found that some beginning studiers say is that the Bible is a bit intimidating. So how does the Great Adventure make the Bible easy to read?
You're right, the Bible is not very easy to read. It's complex. It's not just a single book, it's actually a library of 73 different books. And those 73 books were written by different people in different times to different audiences using different types of literature. It's just not an easy read. But there is a key to understanding the Bible, to making sense of it, and that's to find the story that lies at the heart of it, the story that ties it all together. The Great Adventure does that using the Bible Timeline Learning System.
I love the Bible timeline. You probably already know that. So can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes. What the Bible Timeline Learning System does is that's what makes the complex simple. That's what's at the heart of our studies. And it does 4 things to help you understand the Bible. And you can see on our chart how it works here. First, we simplify it. We take those 73 books and we focus on 14 narrative books that tell the story from beginning to end, so you can read the story of the Bible. And we show you how the other 59 books fit into that biblical story. Next, after we simplify it, we divide that story into 12 time periods that act like chapters in salvation history. And that helps you to put the entire story in order. We make it easy to remember then by color coding each of those time periods. So for example, you could see that Egypt in Exodus is red. And that's easy to remember because you think of the Red Sea during the time of Moses. So we make it easy to remember by color coding it, and then finally we tie that entire story together by following God's family plan. The beauty is that God has a plan for each and every one of us. And from the very beginning, His plan was to make you and I and everyone a part of His divine family. So from the beginning of this story with Adam and Eve, God established a series of covenants with humanity to bring them into His family. And those covenants are fulfilled in the new and everlasting covenant established by Christ. That's the covenant that you and I are a part of. And so what the Bible Timeline shows is not only how to make sense of the Bible, but it shows how each and every one of us are a part of this story.
So I really love the timeline. There's so many amazing things about it. But what you said about how it shows where we fit into the story, that's actually just an amazing part of it. So tell me, what else can you say about the timeline and the Great Adventure programs?
Well, what our participants actually tell us is that the Bible studies not only help them to better understand Scripture, but by knowing how each and every one of us fits into this story, it helps us to develop a deeper and more intimate relationship with Christ and a greater appreciation for our Catholic faith as we see it rooted in Scripture.
I think I started off by saying that these studies have really enhanced my faith. And so how is it that they're uniquely Catholic, the Great Adventure programs?
Well, every single one of our studies has been reviewed by the Church and granted an imprimatur. And that simply means that the Church has deemed that they're free from doctrinal or moral error. We also are supported by an advisory board made up of Catholic bishops and scholars. But more importantly, in our studies, we show you how to approach the Bible from a Catholic perspective.
It's really important. It's part of why I feel all Catholics should get to know the Bible better. So maybe we should talk about how can someone get a Bible study started?
The first thing you want to do is pray and ask God to bless your efforts. After that, it boils down to 3 things. Choose the Bible study that's right for you, plan and promote your study, and then run and facilitate your study.
So the first step you said was choose the study that's correct for you. So where do you recommend that people might start?
For many reasons, I recommend that people begin with our 8-part Journey Through the Bible. In that study, Jeff Cavins gives a fantastic overview of Scripture from a Catholic perspective. And it's simple enough that the beginner can start it and get the big picture of the Bible, but it's also great for those who have been studying the Bible their entire lives because they too will finally get that big picture.
I agree with you there. I've run that study probably more than a dozen times, and each time I do, and maybe it's me, but I learn something new each time. And then the beginners, people who haven't studied the Bible before, they're always excited when they leave that. And inevitably their question is, what's next? So if that's where you begin, where would you recommend? What would be next?
Well, if you want to dive deeper into Scripture, then we recommend continuing with the Great Adventure Foundational Bible Study Series. And that starts with the 24-part Bible Timeline Study. After that, you would continue with our study on Matthew and then Acts. But if you're looking for a study that's similar in terms of size, length, and depth to our 8-part journey through the Bible, then our study on Mary or the Mass are a great option for you. But you don't want to forget your teens either. For middle school, we have Encounter, and for high school, we have T3, the Teen Timeline. Those are fun and engaging Bible studies by Mark Hart that show teens how Scripture is a relevant and important part of their lives and how God and our faith is as well.
We're going to have to talk. I'd like to get my teen into that study. But I have to say about the foundational series, I found that not only did it give me a better understanding of the Bible, but it really taught how do Catholics study Scripture. So that was quite helpful. And when I first started, I had a lot of questions, and I spoke with Bob and Corrine. I think they're 2 of your study consultants, and they were really helpful on the phone.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. We do have a team of study consultants that can help you and support you every step of the way, from getting your study started to answering your questions and even encouraging you.
Yes, that's so true. After all this time, I never hesitate to call them, and you're really right. The best thing I get from them is encouragement. What do I do next? Yes, Shannon, you're doing the right thing. That's great information, John. Thank you. So in our next video, we're going to talk a little bit about how to actually plan a Bible study.